Hey everyone, welcome back to this channel. Today we're diving into over 190 years of CO2 emissions history, tracking how industrialization, economic growth, and energy use have transformed our planet. From the first smokestacks in Europe to today's global super emitters, this bar chart race shows how carbon emissions have shifted across the world. Buckle up, this is both eye-opening and alarming. In the early days of the Industrial Revolution, the United Kingdom dominates the chart. From 1830 to 1867, Britain emerged as the world's powerhouse of coal burning, fueling the rapid rise of factories, railways, and steam engines that powered an empire. London's smoggy skies were infamous, often blanketing the city in thick clouds of soot, but that was just a glimpse of the scale. By the mid-19th century, the UK produced more CO2 than any other country on the planet. Industrial cities like Manchester, Birmingham, and Liverpool were buzzing with relentless production, with coal not just powering factories but also heating homes, fueling locomotives, and driving steamships across the world. This period saw Britain exporting not just goods, but industrial technology and expertise, spreading the Industrial Revolution globally, yet at the same time, laying the foundation for humanity's long-term carbon footprint. It was an era of innovation, wealth, and global influence, but also of unprecedented environmental impact. As you watch the chart, you can literally see Britain's dominance, leading the world in CO2 emissions for nearly 4 decades. A stark reminder of how industrial progress and environmental cost have been intertwined since the very beginning. By the late 19th century, the torch passes to the United States, marking the beginning of what would become the era often called the American century. From 1887 all the way to 2004, the US dominates global CO2 emissions, reflecting its rapid transformation into an industrial and economic superpower. The growth was staggering. Steel mills in Pittsburgh churned out iron and steel for bridges, railroads, and skyscrapers. Oil fields in Pennsylvania and Texas supplied fuel for engines, lamps, and later automobiles. Coal-fired power plants and factories dotted cities from Chicago to Detroit, fueling production at an unprecedented scale. The US wasn't just producing goods for itself, it was producing for the entire world. Cities became symbols of innovation and progress, but also of pollution. Thick plumes of smoke rose from factory chimneys, and rivers ran black with industrial waste. The air in urban centers was often thick with soot, a visible reminder that industrial might came at a heavy environmental cost. By the mid-20th century, the post-World War II economic boom transformed the country yet again. Suburban expansion, highways crisscrossing the landscape, and the rise of car culture made gasoline consumption and CO2 emissions skyrocket. Americans were enjoying modern comforts: electricity, heating, refrigeration, personal vehicles. But these conveniences required vast amounts of energy, much of it carbon-intensive. This era also saw technological innovations that further amplified emissions. Industrial machinery, chemical plants, and large-scale agriculture all expanded rapidly. Power generation relied heavily on coal and oil, while automobiles and trucks became the backbone of domestic transport. The US became a model for the modern industrial lifestyle. Fast-growing cities, booming factories, widespread consumerism. But the hidden cost was massive. Decades of CO2 accumulation that began to alter the atmosphere on a global scale. The bar chart vividly reflects this century-long dominance. For more than 100 years, the United States wasn't just a global leader in wealth, technology, and innovation. It was the largest carbon emitter in history at the time. Every jump in the chart tells a story. The rise of industrial cities, the expansion of suburbs, the proliferation of automobiles, the power of oil, and the environmental consequences of unrestrained growth. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the crown goes to China, overtaking the United States in 2005. Fueled by rapid urbanization, industrialization, and massive coal consumption, China's CO2 emissions skyrocket in just a few decades. Cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou expanded at a breakneck pace, and factories churned out everything from steel to electronics for the world. While this growth lifted millions out of poverty, it also made China the largest carbon emitter in the world, a position it holds to this day. The bar chart here makes it clear. The global fight against climate change is now being defined by China's emissions trends, alongside other emerging economies. This bar chart race of CO2 emissions is more than just numbers. It's a story of industrialization, global growth, and the environmental cost of progress. From the UK to the US, and now China, we can clearly see how our planet has been shaped by carbon. If you found this visualization eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more data-driven insights into our changing world. And comment below which surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.